Buriram as well as AGAL for a good reason, but I don't know why they missed out EVOS, who's exactly in between them.
And I think if EVOS gets off to a good start, they are definitely going to be on the board.
Oh yeah.
We only have slot for 2 teams, so EVOS, just a bit more injection of points and they will be just fine. Movistar R7 already scoring a first blood for themselves. So that is sort of what you need as a team who is falling behind, right? Like, I think there's only so many rounds you can fall behind in Champion Rush before it really comes out to the state where you have no choice but to ruin other people's chances.
Hit list taken up here by EVOS, and that instantly sends the players of Core Memory scrambling away back towards their own compound at Santa Catarina. But that obviously also means that EVOS now could go in for an early hunt. Buriram taking out a hit list, targeting the players of Dragon. This is not good for business at all for Saudi Arabia. Dragons need to fly away as quickly as possible.
Especially when they are currently resting, basically stationed at Buriram's next favorite spot after Stone Ridge, command post.
Yeah.
Only a few teams are willing to take command post, and the one team that Buriram respects is Onyx. But Onyx is not here anymore, so if you want command post, you gotta fight for it.
Oh, what's happening here, man? Falcons rotating towards Core Memory. This is going to bring them directly towards Buriram as well. Dragons might just be the 4th party in this that just stays away from all of this heat of battle. But this is just danger zone for sure as EVOS moves on into Santa Catarina. We've got a party here, Husky.
And you instantly see the Dinoculus being thrown out by Core Memory. They were caught off guard, and now they need confirmation of how many ops are there from EVOS. Luckily, with that confirmation, they were able to continue to rotate southbound. That's good news, but the bad news is they're about to run from the pan into the fire.
Absolutely. EVOS chasing them from the back. You've got your 2-time world champs right in front. What do you do if you're Core Memory? They haven't managed to pick up solid points here today, although they did manage to rip away 10 points to head start this day here at the Grand Finals. They haven't been able to make good work of that just yet.
I mean, EVOS and AGL are currently the leaderboard. And with EVOS getting points, currently they are going to be in first place. And that is a scary thought for a lot of teams, because EVOS did come in with some head start points.
Yeah.
And you don't want to feed them extra, because EVOS, they have a prophecy to fulfill.
Absolutely. And Zenzi has got a life to protect his own. Man has got enough coins to buy back his team members, but no vending machine around, and Coach Hill, M590 to the head, and EVOS off to a fantastic start, but that was an effort across 3 teams, all right? So nothing against poor old Core Memory. They'll just have to make their way back in here at Alpine.
That stings, because they did have 10 head start points and were not able to utilize that in any condition.
The head start points are the only thing still keeping them in the middle of the leaderboard.
Purgatory was probably the better map that they had, but this EVO saga, if you've been following it for the past years, since EWC 24, you know how important this 25 run is for them, especially with Rasya. You said early on, 3 years in, finally gets to play due to the age legalization. His first season, he's right here about to bring that team to potential championship run. That
would most definitely be the dream run for EVOS after 6 years of grabbing a championship on the world stage. It will most definitely be sweet for both Rasya and the squad, especially for the 16-year-old, because he is that firepower behind the squad, right? But as Falcons now choose to back away from that impending doom of ending up between Buriram as well as EVOS, they now move towards Bayfront, reading the circle really well here, all of these teams. And the Katarina is definitely going to be a tad bit hot. But I know why you just said whoa, because the Brazilians, Fluxo, just made a crazy rotation.
That is mad. They just flew right past BRU. We just, kind of a footnote on EVOS, if they do win this, it will be the first organization to win 2 different world championships with 2 different teams in terms of nationality and region, right? They did it with the Thai team, plus Phoenix. That was where Jonah Gethayamoshi were from. Right now, to bring it to Indonesia and have a trophy back home would be historical.
Hey, the freefire World Cup counts.
It does count, of course.
Different brand, but
but still, no teams have done it with 2 different regions at least. I think, again, this is quite a story that spans 6 years. BRU actually decides to not contest command post, go over to the sub, which is the safer spot. So DRG somehow avoided an apocalypse.
That's insane, man. I mean, Fluxo and Buriram literally just switched spots. Okay, this is insane because if Buriram had just been a minute late on this rotation, Fluxo would have met them. And I don't know which team would have been on the receiving end of bullets, because it could have just been Fluxo flying straight in towards Buriram, giving Buriram that open opportunity, or them just catching Buriram with their pants down. But either way, that's fantasy land. Neither one of those scenarios happened. Both teams alive and kicking. And Buriram continues to rotate in towards Refinery, which is usually held by RRQ, who unfortunately have left this spot at this point in time for some weird reason.
But it's also understandable because there are a couple of times that we see RRQ take Refinery and then they spread out, right? Yeah. They decide to play the perimeter. What's interesting is the fact that this is an off rotation, an odd rotation for BRU. They usually don't do this. They don't go from Stone Ridge to the sub and then go straight north. That's the Dinoculus, who just scanned out 3 out of 4 members of Dragons Esports, who took the zip line to Refinery. BRU, I wonder if they would expect that to be RRQ instead. You have R7 also there. There's a potential sandwich that could happen. DRG holding high ground. And with BRU thinking that Dragons could be RRQ, that could just force them to hold back, and that may just put them in the crosshairs of R7. And as I say that, Buriram getting shot at point blank center. R7 not getting any knocks just yet though, but just love taps at this point of time. And the read of the circle, fantastic once again from this world champion, 2-time world champion. But Dragons up top, looking for a little bit of trouble as well on the very edge of Refinery the moment they spotted Buriram rotating in. Dragon Esports actually moving a little bit. I'm not sure if that rotation was the best choice because they just put themselves in the crosshairs of 3 different teams. And to back off right now would be taking a risk. And just like round number 2, Dragon Esports forced to make a tough choice. EVO's now on our screen and they're about to challenge the Falcons in their home ground. This is the nest of the Falcons, but for EVO's, they know that they have the upper hand. They definitely have the upper hand and the high ground advantage rate. M590, Metagun finds a good connection, and the Oscar breaks it down to the Valiant Dash, and the follow-up from Rasya from nowhere. Limit will sneak away to keep the team alive at least for the time being, and aim God, what a shot! And just like that, your reigning champions Falcons being snuffed out. Aim God with the Woodpecker, easy shot to the head. The one final survivor on fire. EVO's about to snuff out the sounds from the crowd. And with that shot, Aim God puts Falcons to rest. You can hear the collective groans for the Team Falcons fans and the Indonesians. They erupt in triumph. You see the contrast in the crowd, you know. Oh, you smile, brother, you smile. They've been bested. That's how you cope with heartbreak. But thankfully for the Falcons, they are not too far behind. We've seen them work miracles, but to have those points fall into the hands of EVOs, that's what's scary right now. And that's why Adman's got a tad bit excited there as well, right? He did say EVOs, they do have a lot of promise here on this map. They have gotten the number wrong, but the prediction is absolutely solid. But it wasn't even EVOS pulling in the hurt onto Falcons. RRQ, phenomenal rotation. Unfortunately, they just caught Falcons at the wrong time. The Falcons just weren't battle ready, and Limit tried to back away in towards the hills, and there was just no escape zone from then on. Vitality up against AGL at Foundation. This is not an easy pot to pretend to be the Predators, because obviously your prey can very quickly slip away, but both teams looking for that vending machine as the prized possession in this spot. Yeah. And I gotta commend how EVOs utilize the Oscar, right? Usually you use him to charge forward, but we see that double up where Oscar charges backwards, you break the duo in the process, and your buddy follows up instantly. So there's no downtime in between where you kind of get staggered for half a second. Fluxo, again with the late rotation, makes it to a safer spot, a big scan of the DRG as the western side of the map starts to get a bit crowded. EVOs are in a great spot. Next destination will be Foundation. That's where the circle goes towards, and that's where AGL and Vitality and RRQ are situated. That's a new term for that, right? No longer bait and switch. It's a bait and Oscar right now.
Just move on in there, beat the bait, and then take down the defenses of your opponent as you tag in your partner, and that was just brilliance. And obviously Rasya, he does not miss those VSK shots, hit like a truck in the current meta. And EVOS is flirting with the edge of the circle, but they do have a jump pad that they can make good work with. Lost on the other hand, one player down. Hanaral not gonna get picked up just yet. Ray M5, nice! Aone from afar saves the day, buys his team members a few extra seconds.
Great save by Aone, but
GG.
the Riptide Rhythm went wide, so those glue walls for EVOS ended up being their greatest cover.
Oh,
that
man.
could have been a turnaround point for loss, but I think they have just missed that opportunity. EVOS scoring another big bag. And I just gotta say, with that win, they're gonna face off AGAL, but they're past the halfway point to a champion rush. And AJ, they're not stopping AGAL now on the hit list.
This is insane. They lay out the jump pad, and they hit down player after player, forcing AGAL to scramble. The grenade fighting one, Cypher. Let the man play his medkit at the very least. A1 hopping on in, crushing the hopes of the Thai squad. There's a vending machine here to play with. Chinoy backing away, aim gone, not giving up just yet. Finds the connection with the M5, the IT, and Ray comes by to say hello as well. 14 eliminations strong. EVOS, what are they on?
They're definitely on the high tide, and nothing can stop them, including placement points in the current position with 8 teams left. They've already scored 40. You add on 14 eliminations. They are so close to unlocking Champion Rush. One more good round will be all it takes for EVOS to put themselves right in front of the finishing line ribbon. Someone has to stop them. Maybe BRU can do it.
Yeah, Buriram needs to think about Fluxo right down there at the bottom as well, but they've pulled in the attention of RRQ. Thankfully, RRQ very close to the edge of this current circle. Save zone's not with them. RRQ has to travel around. Fluxo spotted out by Buriram. Buriram with a high ground advantage. At points, it can be a disadvantage, especially when you've got a sniper like MT7 down at the bottom. GU has got the SVD as well. It's all about the positioning here, and Dragons of all teams can actually play spoiler for Buriram from afar.
A good time to also bring up the fact that for EVOS, Rasya was the new addition. He did replace Gade, but the rest of the team have been here before, just last year. And now they go up against R7 off screen, RRQ up against Vitality. And this matchup, it has replayed a few times in the knockout stage. RRQ always falling victim to Vitality, or at least suffering heavy damage. Fluxo against BRU, but as we turn back to RRQ against Vitality, Ma'al is going to get the first knock onto Faiz. Keon goes down, RRQ striking back hard. But Vitality, they are not one to be trifled with. RRQ needs to get the revive.
Yeah, great knock coming on through. The pickups are going to slow down the pace of RRQ just a tad bit here, but not enough to buy them enough time for that recovery. Vitality snuffed out courtesy of RRQ. The next circle, though, sees EVOS sitting comfortably without anybody to tickle them just yet.
This could be that big round. This could be the golden ticket for EVOS if it continues. DRG, great Steffi usage as Pain Gaming starts to bombard and spray down Fluxo with sprayed up led DRG. They're trying to hold this area, but at one point you gotta fight. Great Riptide Rhythm. All the defenses of Pain Gaming start to crumble bit by bit. R7, they want some blood. Peter getting crossed there, but good time to block the bullet.
Fluxo stands no chance here. They flew on in, and everybody takes their shots up against Fluxo, knocking them down on the 7th spot. Dragons taking advantage of that situation as well. You go, Dragons, you go. Great use of that Steffi earlier on caused that survival gameplay, because Wasana and squad were chucking everything, including the kitchen sink, grenade after grenade at Dragons, and Steffi saving them all. 3 more players, but time is running out. Pain Gaming evacuating the situation. Dragons now can potentially spoil the play of Buriram.
And RRQ can do the same. Wasana, he needs help right now. Riptide Rhythm, massive one from RRQ. Ma'al getting the job done, and the finisher to boot Moshi, not standing a chance. A quad for Ma'al, the sniper of the Rex Brigham Keon. 9, 10 eliminations. eliminations, 11 on the docket, RRQ on the board.
My God, Dragon snuffed out as well. This is the shooting range. Everybody is afraid as far as the Indonesians are concerned. But the threat is up on a hill, on a rock that they call their own. R7 now, high ground advantage, about to turn into a disadvantage as the circle slowly pushes them on in. Rasya finding Joker. That's the disadvantage we talk about. But the distraction from RRQ is going to keep R7 alive.
Big rematch in these two squads. Rasya needs help, but he actually gets himself picked back up. The Diva works out for EVOS. 15 eliminations, ducks behind the wall. Temporary ceasefire between these two teams, and the Coda scan. EVOS knows what's in front of them, and Ma'ao takes the front of it, gains King from behind. EVOS, they might have a good opportunity to close this out. 17 eliminations.
And the circle moving towards EVOS. R7 stopping RRQ.
Oh no.
Distracting them. Kiba being shot by EVOS as well. Aim God finds hacks. The team of R7 now being slowed down. Aim God moving on in. Valiant Dash breaking down their defenses and breaking down their hopes as well. Game King as the final survivor struggling to pick up his team members. But EVOS calls it to an end. Strikes a booyah at Kalahari.
33 points, a booyah, and 21 eliminations. EVOS once more puts themselves way ahead of competition. A replay of Free Fire at EWC 24 where they were in the exact same spot. They were so far ahead of the crowd, but this time emotional management was there. We saw the players calming each other down. The race hasn't ended yet. And the veterans leading Russia, they know that feeling when it was all too close to the end and they could not cross the finishing line. This time they needed to get it done, and they will get it done. I think one more good round, they will be at the cusp of lifting that trophy.
The dream run for the Wonder Kid. There's two ways to say his name, Russia as well as Rasya. Rasya means secret, and he has been that secret weapon, the deadly secret weapon of EVOS that they have been cultivating for the past 3 years. And now they unleash him upon the world of the ESports World Cup, and holy hell, they might just be able to. Now, what am I talking about, might? They are going to activate champion rush condition in the next game. They only need 10 more points.
Spirit looks pretty down on the side of Falcons. It's pretty rare that we see this sight, especially with the home crowd by your back, knowing that you have won before, you have come up with miracles before, you have achieved the world record 40 points in a single round last year. But this year, the case is very different. EVOS seems to be the only team that has been able to consistently step up when they need it the most. They just need to finish the job. They get one more go round on Alpine. We might just end this before we even step foot onto Solara.
You know, it's so difficult to tell a kid to not touch something hot because they just don't understand exactly what heat or fire can do to them. And that's exactly what this Wonder Kid is. He knows no fear, and that has been the greatest advantage of the team. And by the way, fun fact, those 70 points that I talked about doesn't even include what they picked up off a point rush. We're going to take a quick short break here. When we come back, we get to see the Indonesians activate the champion rush condition.